This is Tammy with Couture. Thanks so much for stopping by. Wanted to do a quick piece with you tonight. We're going to do the Live Life in Full Bloom piece. This is the center of the piece. I've already gone ahead and done one part of it to speed up the process a little bit, and I've washed the transfer that I used over here, and I'm going to use it on this corner now. Now the exciting thing about this piece tonight is one of you that is watching is going to have this piece, because I'm going to give this piece away, and it's super easy to be entered into the drawing for it. All you need to do is to on my Facebook page, if you would like my page or share my post or answer the questions below, then we'll go ahead and put you in the drawing. And today is the, let's see what the date, today's the 7th, so we'll do the drawing on the 11th, okay? So be sure to share, like, or answer the questions below, and we'll put you in the drawing. So I've gone ahead and done, this is a transfer that's 2 parts. So the first part is the inside of the flowers, and the second part is the stem. And I'll show you that over here. I like to keep my transfers in this portfolio. Here, let me show it to you real quick. It's a big book, and I just keep all of my transfers in here to keep them neat and clean. And it's just a super easy way to store and see what you have. And this is the stem that we're going to do as the second part. We're going to overlay that onto the flowers. So we need to let that dry before we do the second part. So we're going to go ahead and do this corner down here. Got to get that off my fingers. When you first use a transfer, you want to do what we call fuzzing the transfer. And what that does is you just put the transfer on and off of a towel a couple times, just so it doesn't stick quite as hard. It releases when you go to take the transfer off. I've gone ahead and already done that on this, so I'm going to get this smoothed out, make sure all the bubbles are out, and then we're going to go ahead and do the flowers on this side. You want your Chalkology paste to be the consistency of frosting, basically. And if it's a little dry when you open it up after using it, you can just add some water. I just keep a spritzer bottle right here, and I just add water as needed to keep it the right consistency. You want to move quickly when you're chalking. You don't want to let the chalk dry at all, or it will lift up with your transfer. So you have to kind of stay mindful and don't get distracted by your life. I love chalking. It's so relaxing. At the end of the day, there's nothing better than spending some time chalking, and you can make such beautiful pieces that are wonderful for gifts, to sell. If you want to have a crafting business, you can get very involved in that. These pieces sell very well. It's very in right now to have the signs around your house, so it's a great time for this company to take off. And it's super fun, and people really enjoy doing it. So I highly recommend it if you haven't jumped in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, this is basically a silk screen. So it's got a fine mesh screen where the design is, and we're just pushing the Chalkology paste through it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it nice and evenly spread out. And we always want to save as much paste as we can for another project. We currently have 2-ounce and 3-ounce jars that are just coming out with a little bit extra chalk, a little bit higher price point, but it's worth it. So you have plenty of chalk for all your projects, because you'll go through it fast if you keep chalking like I do. Okay, just spreading it out, getting it evenly spread into the screen, and we look good. Oops, I missed one little corner there. You kind of got to watch what you're doing. Okay, looks good, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it up now. As soon as you pull it up, you just want to put it in water so that you can clean it off and reuse it, and reuse it, and reuse it over and over. I'm going to just get up and drop this behind me in my sink. Okay, now before you do a second layer on this, you always want to let this dry completely. So I have my trusty blow dryer behind me, so I'm going to just bring that around and I'm going to dry up this corner. Try not to blow everything around on the table. Okay, I'm going to let that air dry a little bit more while I do these other pieces too. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Live Life in Full Bloom right here. Now you could you can mix and match your transfers. So you could add different components. So maybe you want something different in the middle of it. We have some other great sayings that you could use as well. You don't always have to use the pieces that come together, but these are the pieces that come in this set. So we'll go ahead and use that for this. So while this is drying completely, we'll go ahead and do the center section. Now this is the first time I've used this transfer. And if I don't have a storage system for my transfer, then I want to mark the back of the transfer with a B, with a magic marker. So when you put your transfers back on the backings, which you need to do to store them if you don't have some other medium to store them on, then you want to be sure you put it on the right side of the backing. Otherwise you'll have a problem with it. So I would normally mark this with a B if I was going to reuse it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off the backing the first time. This is sometimes the most challenging part of Couture, just getting this transfer lifted up on the corner. And I have a towel right here so I can fuzz it. And this is the process I was talking about, where you kind of just take it on and off the towel a few times so it doesn't stick quite as hard. It's not as important with the littler pieces. It's like if you do a large transfer, just to make sure you can take it off without it sticking too hard. So we just did it a couple times, and now we're going to try to center this in the middle of this piece. And there we go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the pink for the middle as well, because it's a nice color that pops. I'm using a canvas for this piece. Couture has tons of beautiful chalkboards that are high quality chalkboards that are porcelain and magnetic. They come with a limited 50-year warranty, and they're wonderful to use and reuse. So you can change for seasons, holidays, events, and just keep your boards updated. This piece, I'm going to go ahead and seal it so it'll be a permanent piece since it is on canvas, and I'm going to be sending it out. So what I'll do after I get done with this is I'll put a poly coat on top of it so it doesn't come off. But normally, the best thing about the Chalkology paste is it doesn't smudge, and you can wash it off. So if it's on your board on the wall and somebody rubs up on it, it's not going to come off. But if you want to take it off a chalkboard, you can use just water and a paper towel, and it'll wipe right off so you can reuse that board. Okay, let me spread this out. Now I'm talking about moving quickly to do this, and I'm sitting here chatting while my ink's on there. So or my chalk's on there, sorry. We also do have a permanent ink now too, which is super exciting. You can use it on fabrics, on ceramics. You just have to heat set it afterwards, and it is permanent. So you can hand wash the products afterwards. So check out the website and you can see those too. Got a little bit of red streaks in my pink here because I didn't quite mix it well enough, but I think it kind of adds some character, so I'm just going to leave it be. Okay, now I messed up over here on the edge and got some off, but I will just take that off when I'm done. Super easy to do. That's the best thing about this, is it's very forgiving. So if you're a messy artist, it works out well. Okay, now I'm having trouble getting this corner up a little bit. Okay, there we go, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna drop this one also in my sink to wash. And then I'm going to just use a wipe and clean up that one little section. See how easy this comes off? No problem. This would be great in the little girl's room, this canvas. Okay, So that's good. Now I did this corner earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and do the overlay here, and this has the stems on it and the detail of the flowers. Now you just got to be sure to get this correctly over the previous chalk so it matches up. So this might take me a little bit longer than normal to place it. I'm going to make sure you get all the air bubbles out. Okay. I plan to use yellow, but I ended up not using it on this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and use the green for this. I have this one out. It might not be dark enough. Let me see what else I've got here. I really like the pale pink. Let's give it a try and see. Or the pale, I'm sorry, green. Did I say pink? Okay, I have not mixed this up. So anytime you start to use a Chalkology paste, you always want to mix it up to make sure it's got the right consistency. This one could use just a little squirt. So I'm going to go ahead and squirt this. I just usually start with 2 small squirts. Make sure it's the right consistency. Get it well blended. Okay, set this aside. Then I'm going to come over here and do this corner. You can check out my website at ChalkObsession.com where you can see all of these products. And if you're interested in joining, you can get details on joining. It's a great time to join this company. It's $99. You get approximately $230 worth of product. The monthly maintenance fee is $19.99, and you get a monthly transfer. It's called Club Couture. A month before the transfer goes out to the general public. I'll show you one of those in just one second here. I kind of spread this too much with the popsicle stick. So I'm going to use my larger angled squeegee, we call this. This is a product that's also available on the website. If you're doing a bigger transfer, it's a little bit faster. And we have a huge squeegee too that you can, well, it's not huge, but it's nice size squeegee if you're doing a big canvas. Some of our big chalkboards, oh, they're amazing. They're so gorgeous. Okay, get all my excess off so I save that. Oh, that turned out so great. Look how beautiful that is. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to go wash off this transfer. A lot of people can use it twice and it works out fine for them. I just want to make extra sure because I'm using canvas and not a chalkboard. You can wipe it off, but it doesn't come out quite as clean. So let me go do that. I'll take a break and be right back. You can also, if you're interested in doing this for a business, a lot of people do make and takes where they have a group over, kind of like the painting theory where you have them come over, you do a piece and they get to take it home. There's so many ways you can run this if you're interested in a business. You can do it just as commissioning pieces or selling your pieces. You can build a whole downline with it. Super versatile. So you can run your business the way you want to run it. And it's still fairly new. It just launched mid last year. So there's a lot of people getting interested in it, and it's just a great time to jump in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this side done. Try not to spread it as much. I have a tendency to chat and spread. Oops, now I messed up right there. I kind of got the chalk outside, but we can clean it up, no problem. That's why I can do this, is because it's very forgiving. I love chalk art. I love to go into gift stores and hobby stores and look at the boards, and now it's so exciting just to be able to make my own. It was so fun at Christmas to be able to give everybody boards, and super economical to do. It's wedding season coming up too, and we've got lots of transfers for weddings because the boards are very popular at wedding venues. So you can take a look at that. Okay. Go ahead and pull this one up, and then I'll clean up that little drip I have. Oh, this turns out so good. Look how gorgeous that is. I'm going to put this transfer in the sink with the others. The great thing about our transfers is you can reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. They just keep sticking. You just want to store them well, and you can use them over and over again. So I'm just going to use a little Lysol wipe, and I'm just going to clean up that drip. Since one of you is getting this piece, I want to make sure it looks great. Okay, and that's it. Voila. So go ahead and like my page, or share it, or answer the questions down below, and we'll go ahead and get you entered in the drawing and maybe get this piece to your house. We also could have an extra surprise in that package for you. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Thanks.